What's up, you beautiful people? Welcome back to another show. Welcome back to another episode. Is this not working?
Is it? It might be. You should
Uh,
probably point it toward us. I thought I heard something playing for a second there.
no, it was saying this Zoom. It says this meeting is being recorded. All right.
Oh, I didn't know it did that.
Much further ado, without much further ado, you're watching the empathy. No, you're watching Freedom Soapbox. Freedom Soapbox, another episode with your favorite hosts, Ashley and Namdi. And today it's July 4th. Woo, woo, woo. July 4th, Independence Day. This literally marks like over 250 years of this country, the United States of America, gaining independence from British rule. And a lot of people are going to, there's a lot of festivities going on. I've been
Of
out here in
course.
Florida. We are here in Tampa Bay area. There's a lot of planned activities. There's obviously going to be people firing up their grills, sipping on some adult beverage, and
Or just like, punch or soda or whatever. Lemonade.
adult beverage, and watching some
There are
fireworks.
also kids out there, so they're not having adult beverages. I
There-
hope not.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But today, that's not what we want to talk about. We want to talk about the reason for the holiday. Why do we celebrate Independence Day? You know, why are we celebrating? Because there's a huge controversy around this particular event, the Independence Day.
Yeah.
On one hand, there are people who are traditionalists and believe that this is a tradition. It's something that needs to be commemorated. Um, but then there's another group of people who have very valid concerns about the inauthenticity of it and the
Mhm.
hypocrisy surrounding the narrative.
Well, why don't you explain that?
Well, so many years ago, hundreds of years ago, when this country gained its independence from British rule, here's the thing: the the folks that were out here that moved out of British rule, they got tired. They were like, "Yo, we're tired of the British taxing us and we're not getting represented." So there was, I believe there was a backlash, and around 1775, Patrick Henry, who was one of those founding fathers, he made the famous statement, "Give me liberty or give me death." So fast forward, July 4th, 1776, the Declaration of Independence was adopted by the 13 colonies in America. And and then Thomas Jefferson, who was also a founding father, he famously wrote the statement, "We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness." So now the question is, are all men really created equal? Have all men been treated equal throughout the history of this country? You know, uh, when even up until the 1920s. Now, granted, 1776 was when this the Declaration of Independence was adopted,
Yeah.
but women couldn't even vote up until 1920.
Because they
And
weren't considered humans.
and we're not even talking about the African Americans that were also contributory to
Right.
the foundation of this country. We're not even considered fully human.
Only partial human, apparently.
And
So,
this is
a fraction.
at the root
Right.
of the controversy surrounding this particular event.
Uh,
It's there's a lot of mistruths. They and you could attest to the history education back in the day. You know, in high school.
well, okay, if I'm going to talk about history, education, especially because when we learned about this was eighth grade.
Okay.
So eighth grade is when we learned about the whole Independence Day, the Revolutionary War, everything like that. The thing is, So I don't know if this is everyone's experience, but no one ever really emphasized that whole um, manuscript that you just read about Thomas Jefferson. Like, no, that was just something that like we learned, but like as we when we focused on what Independence Day was like all about, it was it was about beating the British, basically. So like I didn't even really understand, and I think a lot of people in this country like their eyes weren't really open, about these issues if we look at like historical significance of Independence Day and like what actually happened, what certain people said and what they meant. Because in school, I think especially at least like where we were in California, it's a little bit more liberal. I think they want to kind of cover up racism in schools. I'm guessing that's why they do this. Anyway, and we did not focus at all on anything like that. What we were focused on was like, yeah, get the British. So we were all like celebrating, like, yeah, we beat the stupid Brits.
Yeah.
The red coats, they suck. They oppressed us, and we got them.
You know,
Yeah, America, USA. Like that's what it was all like about in eighth grade. So
it's true. The school curriculums were not really set up to educate us correctly. It's very clear that most people who are products of the education system in this country barely and don't understand the celebration. A lot of this event, for the most part, has been commercialized. So you find
I
a
think
lot.
a lot of the darkness of the past has been masked.
Yeah, it's been
They didn't
massive.
really let
It's
us
brushed.
know
Yeah, it's
what.
brushed under the rug, and you spend a lot of time just commercializing it.
Yeah,
We celebrate the fireworks, we celebrate the flags. People wear the flag. Uh, they sing the national anthem, but there's no depth to it. We don't seek
right.
to find understanding and evolve as a country, right?
I think so.
Because this country has a dark past.
And I think they just want to cover it up so we don't change anything. But they know that people are we're moving away from those beliefs. When back in the old days, everyone thought that this was okay, but no one thinks things like that are fine anymore these days. Obviously, um, but I think they like to cover everything up is so that the system, this oppressive system that we have in this country, just kind of like stays as is, and everyone's blind to it.
So we don't need to be re-educated. What really needs to happen is that we need to be properly informed.
Yeah.
And at this particular age, with access to information like we have with the internet, um, we don't have any excuse. Educators
Yeah.
don't have any excuse anymore. We just can't keep perpetuating this falsehood. Uh, I'd like to be a traditionalist and go, yeah, it's Independence Day. Woo, let's celebrate. Let's just
Get those British.
let's celebrate.
Whatever.
While we're
USA.
celebrating, I think that we should we should find a place where we can educate people and don't brush things under the rug.
Yeah.
It's I don't know,
Kind
for
of be
me.
like open it all up and be like, look, this is what it is. This is what it was. Maybe we should make some changes.
It's a hypocrisy, and it's just straight being a coward if we're not capable of challenging our issues, our problems head on and addressing them. There's nobody saying that anyone currently living is responsible for all the dark dark parts of our history. But since we now know better, it's inherent upon us in this age and this time of information to educate and inform not only the future generation, but ourselves, and seek to find healing, seek to find unity, understand other people from other backgrounds that are different from us. Let's get together and mix and instead of just like pretending that it didn't happen, which is the part that I don't like. Because it goes back to that movie we watched recently on Netflix. What was the title of it with Taraji P. Henson? She was phenomenal.
And she was really good. I know what you're talking about, but what was it?
What was it about?
Okay, so it was about this town. So what happened is the black kids' school was burnt down, or there's like, yeah, it was burnt, and then so these kids were gonna have to go, go attend school, or they filed a petition for them to attend school with everyone else with the white kids, and then well, of course, the white part of town is not okay with that because they love segregation and wanted to keep it all separate. And so they were really pushing the agenda of like, let's make the schools integrated now. It's time. And since they were fighting this, then at some point they decided, let's call him this guy who does these. I forgot what they call, like the term was that they used to call it, but pretty much they're like these town debates, but they're more comprehensive. It's not just kind of like a regular town hall debate. So he really got both sides, and he got diverse minds of like an equal diverse disbursement of like all different types of people in the community, and he brought them all together to really focus on the issue at hand and got both sides to tell their stories. Then he tried to get both sides to really have kind of like an understanding experience of each other's side, if you will. And he did various different activities to get them to understand each other. And of course, the whole movie goes through its drama. But in the end, what happened was the schools were integrated, and the guy who we all thought was like the villain, the KKK guy, he's like the KKK leader guy who everyone's just like, yeah, he's gonna make sure that we stay segregated. He actually he turned. Okay, so he went to the other side, and he realized what he did wrong and
So,
all that.
so the title of this movie is "The Best of Enemies."
Okay, yeah.
It's a true story of the unlikely relationship between Ann Atwater, an outspoken civil rights activist, and C.P. Ellis, the local Ku Klux Klan leader. And it's set in the racially charged summer of 1971. It's a pretty good movie, and you should go check it out. Just going back to the topic of the Independence Day and how it is perceived in the United States. Some people think that why question this American history? Why even challenge the narrative? And some of us who have been misrepresented over the years are like, I don't want to live this lie anymore. You guys can carry on and keep pretending like all things are peachy and everything has always been good. And some people go hard make statements like, "Oh, I wish we could go back to the good old days." The truth is,
They weren't that good.
it was never that good. This country is the greatest country in the world. It's not the perfect country in the world. We all have a responsibility to keep moving the arc of moral justice, of the moral universe, ever so close to justice. Justice should be the target, and it's all our responsibility. The information that we were all taught over the years, at best, was not true. Most of it was just like whitewash. I don't like using the word whitewash, but more like commercialized, surface level. Let's all just get along and pretend everything's all peachy. But it's not true. Now it is our responsibility. Now that we're informed, it's our responsibility to challenge the status quo, step away from it, because we want this country to be a better place. We don't want a group of people to continue to enjoy the best and the dream of America while the rest are like maligned and misrepresented. So let's even in the spirit of Independence Day celebration, we're celebrating. We're in our festivity. We're in our festive mood. We're gonna be going downtown very pretty soon here, downtown Tampa, where there's gonna be fireworks and some concerts and food. We're gonna celebrate. Don't get it wrong. We should celebrate. It's an
What are people
opportunity.
celebrating?
Independence Day.
Oh, okay.
But
But do you want to give them like a different idea of how you should, or another way to think about it, or is it like no, just leave it as is?
no, no,
That's
no.
what we're celebrating.
I'm challenging folks to recognize our collective responsibility to see the hypocrisy in this history, this historical event, and try to change it in whatever
Okay.
little way you can. There are educators out there who can start teaching. Matter of fact, we're all educators now. This idea of like there's a specific institution that is charged with teaching everyone, teaching our kids and teaching people. That's
Can't learn outside of school.
that's being disintegrated with YouTube and the internet in general. So learn, get online, and teach, and that's what we're doing now. We're trying to change minds. I'm trying to tell you, like, look, the history is not completely true. It's partial truths. Um, Go out there and learn about other people. Tolerate other people. You don't have to force people to change. You don't have to force your beliefs on other people, but understand that things have not always been true. History, as it's been presented, is not true. So let's celebrate this holiday, July 4th, 2021, Independence Day celebration of America, as as not to be the ultimate truth, but as an opportunity to get informed and to educate other people, so that we can create a more perfect union for all of us. We're all in this together, right? So, and not to sound any more preachy, I appreciate you guys for tuning in and watching our show this today. And I hope you guys have a great time. Don't drink too much. Don't drink and drive. Order an Uber. It's $100 Uber is definitely worth uh, not spending time in jail and ruining your
No, but
future.
then you have to like pay $100 to get back the next day to your car. And then
Hey
I'm just
man,
kidding. I'm just kidding. It's still better.
it's better than spending a night in jail and ruining your future.
Or actually causing an accident that hurts people.
Exactly. So order an Uber, have fun with your friends, watch the fireworks, and let's keep on moving. Let's keep on working hard to build this country to be a better place for all of us. Until next time, you've been watching Freedom Soapbox, and Ashley and Namdi will see you next time.